to another edition of Smarknado. I'm your host, Eric Druckman. With me, as always, my tag team partner, the dirty Danaconda, Dan Cesnet. Dan, how you doing?
Been a long week in the dirty Dan Cesnet household, but that doesn't stop
You
me
need to
from
clean
doing my
up.
duty.
You need to clean up that dirty house.
Yeah. Yes. Yes is exactly the answer to that. But beyond that, other people have dirtier houses. I think that we should probably be discussing because
My God. All right.
my issues seem tame in comparison, I would say.
Full disclaimer before me and Dan get into the obvious. I mean, you guys all know what we're talking about. Unless you lived under a rock, you've heard about the Wall Street Journal article that came out about Vince McMahon, sex trafficking. We're not going to go into detail about this stuff. There's really no need for us to, reiterate what's already been said. You guys can all look at it for yourselves. But, of course, this is something that we need to talk about, and I think that it's important for us to first remember that, aside from Vince McMahon and what he's done in the realm of professional wrestling, the moral crime that he has committed here cannot be understated enough. He is an absolute fucking monster to society, and we should be thinking about the victim first, whose name is now out to the public, Janelle Grant. But what he did and what he perpetrated, and again, you guys can just reach out for yourself. We're not going to go into detail, but
it's nothing short of horrifying.
It's sexual predator 101, as far as like grooming somebody, getting someone when they're in a very vulnerable place in their life, and using power dynamics to really just be a monster because you're rich and you can get away with it. And I think that Vince McMahon is somebody that has very little regard for women, has very little regard for people that are monetarily lower on the totem pole than he is. And yeah, absolutely. And he's just he's scum of the earth. And people like this need to go away. And me and Dan have gone on and on, harped on and on for years about how detrimental he's been to the wrestling product. But this obviously, if anyone is equating the evils that he's done in booking wrestling to this, that's obviously a false equivalency. You can't even put that in the same conversation. But this is just morally reprehensible on just a human level, and he needs to go away. He needs to face the consequences. I'm happy that he is alive to face these consequences.
Will he though? I mean, truly, like I am at a point where I don't think that anybody of that ilk, whether it be Vince McMahon or Harvey Weinstein, who is now, but like still it took so long, and Donald Trump and the like these guys, I mean, yes, now more than ever, they are being held accountable for their actions, but it's still been far too long. I mean, Reader Chatterton was what, 1982, 86, 85, something? And then this was 2021. Like, who was in between?
Like, for those of you that don't know, Rita Chatterton was a referee that worked for the WWE in the early 80s and accused Vince McMahon of sexual misconduct while they were in a limo together.
Yeah. So, and at the end of the day, it's who knows. And again, I can't state enough, and you said a lot, and I'm probably going to say my piece now, but I can't state enough that our hearts are with the victims here. And this isn't a tribalistic thing. We've said what we've said about the product that is WWE over and over on this show. And that has nothing to do with this, truthfully. What this has to do with is a bad person, an evil person. No, bad is too good of a word for him. A truly ruthlessly evil person. Like, and you go back in the history of tasteless storylines, and it's just proven that this is what this guy was. I I hope he dies a painful death.
I do too.
In every way, shape, and form. So that being said, and I'm not saying that I have any special sort of thing to say about this being a dad, but I am a dad of two, a girl and another girl on the way. And to think that these sort of things are happening to women at any given time. Again, just the victims of this just need to know that you're loved. It's crazy to think that we want to sit here and cook Vince McMahon. Yes, absolutely, but also it's just super important to remember that there's victims in these stories. So don't use this as an opportunity to dunk on WWE or whatever you may do.
For sure.
So.
You know, and very well said, Dan. You know, our thoughts with the victims of this assault and all sexual assaults that happen every single day in this country, but and all over the world. That is,
yeah. And we
but,
and every man, woman, and child out there knows somebody that's been sexually assaulted in some way, shape, or form. Whether you know whether you know about it or not, you know somebody. So just remember that when discussing this topic as well, with anybody, right? Because you don't know what this is going to trigger. And I will say, I haven't read the entirety of I read the Wall Street Journal article. I haven't read the entirety of the filing, but from what I've come to understand, it's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I haven't read the whole.
That I want to.
I actually haven't read any of the filing. I just read, you know, the condensed version of the Wall Street Journal article. Shout out David Bixenspan for hooking everybody up with that. Yeah. But yeah, let's just think about though, like with this is happening, you know, this. Do you think that dominoes are going to start to fall? Because already today we saw Slim Jim pull out their sponsorship of the Royal Rumble. You know, I think that, you know, not only was Vince McMahon a monster, but from everything that I've read and everything that, you know, people have alluded to that have been there, is that this is a very animalistic like culture that's in the WWE. This stuff like this happening wasn't terribly unusual, and that's a sad thing. And, you know, it comes to the thought of who it was complicit with all of this stuff happening, who was close to Vince McMahon, because I cannot imagine people like Kevin Dunn, like Bruce Pritchard, not being privy to like Vince's antics and
a lot of these guys are gone too.
Yeah, so and not only that, but
where
like
there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Right, but also, you know, yeah, Kevin Dunn. I think Kevin Dunn left for a reason, for that reason, possibly. But, yeah, I mean, on the text messages that,
yeah, those are
they're bad, but like it definitely, he presented a picture to her that he was showing everyone in the office. So like, there's gotta be, like, if that in fact was true, there's gotta be some people that are well known within those circles that knew that it was happening and didn't say anything.
There's definitely, I mean, I can't imagine a scenario where this isn't widespread, right? To me, there's no possible way that this isn't flooded down to even the lowest of the low, that people, I hate to say low, but, you know, levels of employees they are, right? It was said that he's shown these pictures to production staff. You know, it's said that these things were happening in the offices. So to me, you know, that's a lot of cover up, and you know, a lot of I'm assuming there's a lot of NDAs out there, right? Like that we've yet to hear about. I'm assuming that there's still a lot of layers to this, and a lot of dominoes are gonna fall. Like I just can't see it any other way. Like to me, I want to sit here and say, yeah, nah, Triple H doesn't know, but like, come on, man, like
Triple H had to have known something.
Like, right, like it's. In the case of people that have yet to be named, I will say innocent till till otherwise proven, right? Like in
Right.
those cases, we don't know names. We don't know this. We've heard the name of Vince McMahon. We've heard the name of Laurinaitis,
We've
and
heard definitely the inference of Brock
the
Lesnar.
inference of Brock Lesnar. Again, even the inference of Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to say it was Brock, right? Like, fuck him. But, I could believe it, but I don't know it, right? I can believe that a lot of people know it, but I don't know it. But that doesn't say that I'm letting anybody off the hook. And there's not going to be a name that surprises me, really.
No.
Like, I know that there's guys like The Undertaker, guys like Cena. Like, you're going to tell me Cena doesn't have like Cena's a smart guy, right? Like, he's not a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that were and are very close to Vincent McMahon that are gonna get burned by this.
Yeah, man. I think Cena's the one.
Reputations are gonna be ruined.
Right. I think that Cena is the one that bothers me the most, just because, like, I feel like at least perception wise, of a lot of the guys that have moved on to Hollywood, I just feel like he carries himself very well in a very respectable manner, and there's a likability to him, and that would just disappoint me to see that like he was privy to a lot of this stuff.
I'm gonna say if there's one that I would say didn't know, I would hope it would be him.
I hope so.
He's the one with the Make-A-Wish and and just the general, like, I don't want to say he's perceived as a good guy, because there's been some sides of him that have been shown to be less than savory, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he does mean a lot to a lot of kids. And I hope that doesn't ruin that image of him. Right. So,
yeah.
Also, there's a lot of people that I'd be really disappointed in. Like, I would hate to have a guy like Batista be a guy that was involved or know about this, because he's always seemed like that upstanding guy too, right?
Yeah, he's a very outspoken Democrat too. Very anti-Trump, and just it seems to perception-wise seems to be on the right side of history.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. But again, there's a lot of people that have been around him in his circle, very close. I just got the book, not super recently, but I got the fucking, what's the writer that was in WWE? He wrote the book, and I can't think of the name.
Brian Gewirtz.
Brian Gewirtz. I got his book, so I'm actually going to looking forward to reading that. Just so
I
there's
read it. It's really good.
I know you have, but I'm gonna look at it a lot differently.
Yeah, right? You are. Absolutely.
In the way that I see things, I'm gonna not necessarily read between the lines, but again, that's a guy that I'm not saying he has anything to do with it, but he's been very close, right? He's been in that circle. He's been in that room. So to me, it's going to be interesting to see his takes and see how it sort of shifts.
When I see Gewirtz, I feel like he's the type of guy that's just like, okay, didn't see that, go along with my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He just probably, like, the more he didn't know, the better.
Yeah, and that might be again.
That might be the case with a lot of guys that are close to Vince too.
I don't know shit about shit, and I'll watch the dominoes fall just like everybody else, and I'll I will watch with glee if people that deserve to get fucked, right? Yeah. Like, I'm all for that. Like, if Triple H was a party to this, fucking out. Like, if the whole company knew about it and didn't do shit, nuke the fucking thing. It just nuke it to the ground. I don't care.
It makes you wonder why Shane is no longer there, why Stephanie is no longer there.
Right? Like, a lot of people that are no longer there, both that knew about it and were mad at it, and knew about it and were complicit, are gone. Right? Yeah. So to me, it's like, I could see Steph like completely estranging herself from the family for it, because, like, truthfully, like, she was the on-screen victim of a lot of these things, right? Like, back in those days, like that sex object that was her.
Yeah, dude. That just, I mean, that backstage segment from like 2003
Yeah.
in Zach Gowen's storyline has been shared over the last day.
Yeah.
And it gave a chill down my spine.
It's gross.
Based on
Gross.
just like, could this be real? Could this have happened? You guys can all see it for yourself. I don't even want to repeat it. Like, it was on
Yeah.
WWE television of all things, but it was fucking gross. And like, as a kid watching that, you know, I was a little lost on it. I was like, what the fuck is
Sure.
this? But now it's like clarity, but like clarity I didn't really want.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no, and I mean, it was clear. I saw. I mean, it was disgusting to me. Like at the time, it was in poor taste, and you know, I don't know, man. It's just really like, yeah, just villains, man. These are just super villains. That we live in the age of super villains that do these sort of things, and
yeah.
it's disgusting that we have to worry about our our sisters, our daughters, our
Mhm.
mothers, our aunts, like our female friends, our wives. Like we have to worry about these people every single day. And not only that, like male victims of sexual assault are out there too. I'm not, but there's also other victims in this. And when you read this whole entire thing, like where Vince named the sex toys after wrestlers, like to me, yeah, to me that's a victim, right? Like that, nobody deserves that. He's forcing these sex toys on this woman using the names of his employees, particularly black ones, which is, it's disgusting, man. Like like he's a super villain, and honestly, I hope fucking he gets Epsteined. Like fuck him. Like I hope he dies. I do. I don't care. I don't feel bad about it. Like I don't feel
I
bad
hope he
saying that
dies
another.
for the complete opposite reason of why I wish he would die like 10 years ago. You know?
Yeah, I laugh, but like I understand what you mean, right? Like
Mhm.
him passing was more of a, oh, it's never gonna get better until.
The
But now I'm
product
like,
needs to get better, but now it's
yeah,
just like, well, the world needs to get better.
like the
So
world will be a better place without him in it. And
yeah.
not that there will ever be comfort for any of his victims, but at least they can smile knowing, right? Like, that's to me, like they could be like, good. Like, and I hope he dies in a horrible way, like in
Yeah.
just the worst possible way that,
Bring that back.
you know, whatever it is. I don't care.
Mhm.
I don't feel bad for saying it, and I never will. Like people like that deserve to die, and you won't convince me otherwise.
I think I don't know. What do you think Vince McMahon's punishment should be? Throw him off a Hell in a Cell into light tubes?
Uh, no, he would probably enjoy that. Like, no, like honestly, like I want him to have a legit death match to the death with,
Yeah.
I don't care, pick who, whoever, I don't care, pick one, all of
Nick
them.
Gage.
Nick Gage, let Nick Gage literally murder him with a dull pizza cutter. I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to hang him by his nards
Dude,
off the top
we
of
can do that. We
fucking
can at least do that in a video
Titan
game.
Towers. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't give a fuck. The worst thing that you could like possibly think of to happen to him, I hope it does.
Yeah.
This man shit on a person.
I know, Dan. I said that we weren't going to go into detail.
I'm going into detail. It's disgusting, and I want,
Yeah.
because I'm only going into that detail, and I'll stop because I don't want somebody to hear, oh, like he's saying he should die. Like what really happened? Like no, like this shit is heinous.
It is.
It's
It
not
is.
like it's not he groped somebody in the mailroom. Like this is sex trafficking, Epstein level heinous shit, bro.
Mhm.
Like so I need to at least put it out there as to why I am so passionate about the demise of this man.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Fuck that guy. You know. Well, it's going to be a very interesting next couple of months to see what unfolds. That's all I got to say about that. And let's talk about actual wrestling.
Yeah, man, there was wrestling that happened, and I don't want to just get into wrestling gleefully, but
Uh-huh.
yes, we do talk about other stuff, and I think we've spent a lot of time and emotional energy on this, and can definitely
Mhm.
talk about some shit that we liked now. So
Mhm. All right, so Dynamite happened
yeah,
last or couple nights ago. What do you think of it overall, Dan? What were some of the highlights for you?
I mean, I'll say the low light right off the bat, man. That crowd was bad. Don't go back to Savannah. Like Savannah, Georgia, great city, love it there.
Mhm.
One of my favorite cities in the entire country. But man, that crowd was dead as shit for almost the entire show.
Yeah,
Um, um, some highlights, obviously, just grown man shit with Samoa Joe and his promos. Like that's just to me is stuff that's always going to be big time.
yeah, I
Um,
like that. I like this mini feud with Hook right now.
it's the way to do it, man. Break
It's
these things
elevating
up.
Hook.
Break these things up. Have him have a bunch of mini feuds throughout the year, and then drop that title to Swerve when the time comes.
Mhm.
Man, it's the perfect ending.
Well, I think we're gonna get a triple threat at Revolution. That's what it's looking
Probably,
like to me.
but I still think Joe comes out of that one, man. I do.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
I
think
think that
so. This.
Hangman takes the pin there. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
yeah. How about you?
I thought that the Deanna Purrazzo Tony Storm segment may have been my favorite thing on the show. Maybe next to the main event was very strong, but yeah, this Tony Storm Deanna Purrazzo segment I thought was awesome. I thought it
But
was just
hold on.
yeah.
Bully Ray said that it wasn't good. So
He
I
is
mean,
so I don't understand like I think everyone kind of needs to dial it back and realize that storytelling doesn't have to be we have matching tattoos. We got these because we were there and blah blah blah. Like not everyone has to tell stories like WWE where it's just blatantly obvious. There's some subtlety here. There's like if you're just paying attention to the way that the story was progressing between the two of them, you would understand why they had matching tattoos. Like it's the difference between you are you listening or are you not listening?
he's just a fucking bad faith grifter. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
he is.
he's
He's a
listening. He just wants to not admit that he can fucking hear it for clicks. Fuck that dude.
yeah, yeah. It was
Um,
just it's stupid. And so, Tony with the one-liners. You can take that tattoo and blow it right out your bunghole.
uh, but can we like
Oh,
all
can we
kidding
say
aside, this match once it does happen is going to be really fucking good.
yeah. Did you hear what Tony said when the segment started?
That she'll speak first.
No, no, she was
The
just like,
body shaming. The body
no,
shaming.
no, 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 no. She goes, get on with it. I have a new massage in the back.
I mean, it's gold. And what did I tell you? Didn't I say that I hoped that they did just Tony in black and white? And
And they did, yeah,
they
half
did.
screen with black and white, half
It was
screen
awesome,
with
man. Like,
color. Yeah.
don't ever end this shit, man. Like, she can have a
Mhm.
good feud with anybody. Like, she's crushing this, and there's no end in sight, in my opinion, because there's gonna keep being no shortage of women that she can feud with if they're
Mhm.
really looking to build up that that division. And
Yeah.
like, I know you're a top fan, top 0.01% fan of Megan Bain, but like she's gonna roast the shit out of Megan Bain, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Yes, she is.
So,
She definitely is. I don't even know. Do you think Megan Bain's going to be? I don't know. Megan Bain's probably going to be a heel. You think Tony, over the course of this year, is naturally going to go babyface?
probably. I mean, she is now. Like you
Yeah.
know she is. Like it's just it's she's wrestling a heel style while and trying to be a heel while everybody's cheering her. It's just one of those she's never gonna get booed.
Right. All right. Yeah, that was fucking phenomenal television. I gotta say.
I
But
also got to
yeah,
say, Jeff Hardy getting away from Matt Hardy a little bit is nice. He's putting on some good matches.
mhm.
Been really good.
Yeah, you know, I was sort of into it, not really though. I knew Swerve was gonna win. I mean,
Obviously, Swerve was going to win, but it's
yeah,
just Jeff can still go when he wants to, right? He's
mhm.
not mad. He can still move in the ring, and
He's
I
trying.
enjoy him still having decent matches.
So Dan, what do you think of Thunder Rosa being back? Are you excited? Because like I really do like Thunder Rosa. You know, I feel like all the stuff, the backstage stuff and the stuff with the sandbagging and whatever. Yeah, that was a long time ago and like it was never really verified, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I don't give a shit about any of that. Like,
Yeah, but
that's none of my fucking
I'm
business.
into Thunder Rosa and I want to see her at least challenge maybe Julia Hart win the CBS title.
When she's presented right, she's awesome, right? Like,
Mhm.
definitely a really good baby face to have, right? Just I don't want to say a white meat baby face because obviously her heritage is not that.
Yeah.
But that feeling, right? Like an easy to cheer for baby face with fire. I think that is what that division definitely needs because
Mhm.
Deanna's not going to be that, right? Sky Blue isn't that. Even like Queen Aminata, who is on the come up, isn't going to be that, right?
Mhm.
Like, isn't going to be that kind of baby face if she even is. I think she ultimately ends up a heel, which I think is going to do really well. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't have that right now. So her being that is definitely good for the division.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think she's just somebody that's been missing, somebody that is like more of a ring general in there, and yeah, I just want to see her in good programs and help elevate the division and just recapture that magic
Mm-hmm.
from
It's coming, man.
where she was before when her and Britt Baker were going at it. You know,
I was actually just going to say to you, is what's Britt Baker's deal?
I don't know.
Is she
I don't know.
injured? I don't either. I'm going to look into
Don't
that
know,
because I'm
man.
curious because I don't love Britt Baker, but she's definitely a good addition to have around, right?
Yeah,
Like she could definitely be in programs.
I would
So I don't
very
know.
much like Britt to come back with a chip on her shoulder and be a big go back to the what took her to the dance and be a heel again and just like
Yeah,
attack somebody that's beloved, um
like a Willow
yeah, yeah, why not,
mm, or a
let's
Chris
do it.
Statlander, even like
Yeah,
so.
so bang bang scissor gang, Dan. um
Bang, bang,
are you
scissor,
are you
gang.
into it?
I am very much into it. I mean, because it's just we know what it's gonna be, and but we've always touted on this show that like just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's bad, right? Like
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a good, and I think we're gonna get a unification match at Revolution, which is gonna be a really good match.
yeah, and I think that's the right call too, because as ill featured as Ring of Honor has been, there's really no need for them to have a 6-man tag division when AEW
Or
already has one.
yeah, I mean, one of the others got to have it.
Yeah,
It's just either way. If you did away with the AEW ones, like would I love it? No, but yeah, it's time for
I don't think they should
unification
get
of
rid of
those
the
two.
AEW ones.
Well, they just haven't really done much with them. Like that's my only complaint.
That's
Like
true, but that's just
recently,
on them. It's not
yeah,
like they don't have the talent available to have really great 6-man teams. Like
yeah,
they never really gave a shot to AR Fox and
top flight.
Top Flight when they were together. Yeah.
But they could also give a shot to Action Andretti and Top Flight now, which is a good combination too.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good 6-man teams, and I also think, like I said, they'll unify those, and I think that everybody will sort of go their separate ways, and maybe
Hmm.
they'll sort of realign that division, hopefully. Because I was excited for it, and I still am excited, but yeah, no need for two of them.
No. So, what do you think of Matthew and Nicholas?
I'm into it, man. I love the shit heel EVP Bucks, bro.
They
Like
they're dressed like Hall and Oates or some shit.
I don't care, man. They look like shit heels, and it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, brother, I'm totally invested in this. And I think that the way that I see it going is ultimately gonna be fucking Sting and Darby winning the tag titles from Big Bill and Ricky, and then the Bucks sending Sting
Yeah.
out on his back. Man, I do.
Mhm.
I think that that's the way it's going to be, and I think they're going to be even more hated for it because they're going to be like, "Well, we're the EVPs. We booked ourselves to do it." And blah blah blah. It's going to be great. Like it's just
Yeah.
going to be really really compelling storytelling. Even though I'm laying out what I think is going to happen again, obviously, I'm still psyched for it.
Yeah, man. Who would have thought that Sting's last match might be for the tag team titles? And yeah, you know what?
I
I
mean,
am here for it.
dude's done a lot of tag teams in his career, man.
Mhm.
Like, is it weird? Yeah, but like, was he gonna be a singles champ? He hasn't been a singles wrestler in AEW,
Mhm.
so I think him winning the titles gives him a title in AEW before he retires, and it gives him a chance to go out on his back, like many people do,
Yep.
and builds the Bucks even more. They're
For
legend.
sure. For sure. So, Dan, what did you think of Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki in the Cope Open?
This match was a fucking hot dog and a handshake outside of the finish. The
You
finish
like
got fucked up a little bit.
okay, so would you give it a hot dog ultimately?
A hot dog.
Hot dog. Yeah, me too. Me too.
This match was so fun, man. Watching fucking
They just
Copeland
went at it right away.
slugging it out with the slugger of all sluggers, man. I
I
popped
loved it.
big. I popped
Yeah.
big. Like I probably woke the neighbors up, man. Like they were just going at it.
Bro,
It was dope.
bro, like we were saying on the show a couple days ago, I definitely think Sheamus got Edge ready for this match.
And like, dude, it was so fun. Like, it was a
So brutal.
really good match.
Hmm.
It was a really good TV main event with two people that, dude, if I told you 10 years ago you were going to see these two in any ring,
Yeah.
you would have been like, you're a fucking crackhead.
Hmm.
Like, hit the bricks. Like, I don't even want you on this show this anymore. You're so stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and I would have deserved it at the time.
And
Like, absolutely.
I loved how at the end too, Edge went to shake Suzuki's hand, and Suzuki declines, and then Edge got on the microphone and he was just like, you know, I actually wouldn't have liked it if he shook my hand.
The dude is having the time of his life, man. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
the it's more bad faith grifters, but like honestly, all these dudes that are like, well, he's in front of 2,000 people and blah blah. Dude is having a fucking blast. Like you could
yeah,
see it in his face. I saw it close up. You're gonna see it close up come Revolution, right? Like I
yeah,
saw it. He loves it. It's great. It's
for
beautiful.
sure, man. It's great to see guys like him and Danielson truly just doing it for the love of the craft of professional wrestling.
Danielson's
They're
about
not
to wrestle
doing it for
Yuji
fucking money.
Nagata on Saturday.
Yeah, man. I
Yuji
love
fucking Nagata.
and I love that Danielson is wrestling Yuji Nagata because when Danielson went on his first tours of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Nagata was like the ace of New Japan at that time.
That's
So
great.
this is like a real like full circle kind of match, and I'm totally here for it, and I can't wait.
Oh man,
Blue Justice versus the American Dragon.
it's gonna be and remember, man, I'm just like I love it. I love it. I love it. And
Yeah, dude, I love it too.
wrestling is
So
back. Wrestling is so
so
AEW is
we
back, bro.
and we haven't
We're
even
back.
talked about the Royal Rumble yet, man.
No,
So
but AEW is coming, dude. Like I know I'm a shill, bro. Like I know it. I get it, but I have to be extra excited about AEW because I'm so disappointed in WWE right now.
yeah, but you can also be excited for TNA too.
That's true. I can. Did you
Give it a
watch TNA
chance,
this week all
man.
the way?
I did watch TNA this week all the way. They had Okada in the main event with the machine guns against Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Brian Myers, and it was a fun match. And then they had a rematch of Trinity versus Jordan Grace. The GYV, the grizzled young veterans, are the number one contenders for the TNA tag team titles. They're going to be in a best 2 of 3 like series match against ABC. Yep.
Cool. That should be good.
Absolutely, man.
That's a pretty cool clash of styles there in those two teams. I'm interested to see
absolutely,
that.
and it's no surprise too, because you remember seeing MSK when they were together against the Grizzled Young Veterans. They had great matches with each other in NXT. But yeah, let's get to the Rumble. These matches that are happening. So let's kind of try to get through this as fast as we can, but without leaving anything out. First of all, for the United States Championship, Logan Paul defends against KO, Kevin Owens.
Logan Paul retains, but I want KO to win. Obviously,
of course, we both want KO to win because we're actually wrestling fans. And
hey, I hate Logan Paul as a person, but that dude can wrestle. I'm not gonna.
100%, man.
I will not besmirch him that.
He's poisoning the well of today's youth. He can go fuck himself. But he is going to retain. He's going to be. He's going to retain with some hijinks. Something's going to happen. I think Logan Paul is going to defend his U.S. title against LA Knight at WrestleMania. That's what I foresee happening.
LA Knight gets that big win at Mania. I would like that.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with the Fatal 4-Way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. I mean, this is pretty obvious. It's definitely going to be Roman Reigns. They're definitely not going to have a title change here. At this point, Roman Reigns is in this rarefied air title reign.
Roman might not ever lose that title.
I think, he is, but it needs to happen at the most monumental event possible. And it's not going to be this year's WrestleMania. It's going to be next year's WrestleMania. Yeah. So that's that. I guess who I would want to win out of those 4, though. AJ, maybe. I don't know. I just don't.
At this point,
I can't be like, who do you want? Because you can't see anyone else winning.
It's weird at this point. It's kind of like it would be disappointing if Roman didn't win. Like at this point, I'm like, fuck it, just take it all the way. Just if you're gonna troll us, just troll us till the end of time. Like to me, like
Dan, you're evil. You can't do it till the end of time. At least until next year's WrestleMania, sir.
Nuke the fucking company. Let Roman.
Company's already being nuked. Yeah. All right, Women's Royal Rumble match. What I want to hear here is who you think is going to win, who you want to win, but also like who are some surprises that you can see coming into this match?
I think Bayley's going to win. Okay. Who do I want to win? I don't know, man. I want Jade to win. I want them to make her a big deal, and I want her to come in and just beast and win it. I know that that's not what a lot of people would want, but that's what I want.
So that's your mystery person that's going to come into the match too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that prediction. Of course, I don't, that's who you want. You would like to see a scenario where Jade wins. Very unlikely. But yeah, I think that in this match, I'm with you. I think that Bayley wins just based on how the storylines have been played out on TV. Mm-hmm. Her in Damage Control. It's going to create a scenario for WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And who do I want to win? That's a tough one. I guess I would want like Kairi Sane to win. Someone like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? Kyrie, I would love Asuka to win as well. I actually have one other thing that I've seen floating around, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I think the big surprise this time around, Jade's not a surprise. I think AJ Lee makes a return.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know who else I have as a
As a
surprise?
one-off.
Tiffany Stratton.
I would see that. I could see that. She hasn't really been around NXT a lot right now, has she?
Not too much, no.
Yeah, no, I could see that too. She's on her way up. But yeah, I'm excited for the women's rumble. I love that. I mean, the Royal Rumble has always been my favorite every year. I definitely want to see some hijinks, and I think that you mentioned this last week, or you mentioned it in the group chat, but it's definitely nice that they haven't announced 25 of the 30 entrants for both of them. They've announced less than 10 for both of them, I think, or less than 15 at least.
Yeah,
So,
I like that the surprise.
it brings back that
we
element, and I think
yeah.
that I will say that I think that Triple H understands that element was missing for a long time, and it should turn out really good because of it.
Definitely. And finally, we have the men's Royal Rumble match. You know, who do we have here? Who do you have? Dan,
It's
how about you
tough,
go
man.
first?
It's tough. It's tough. Because I think that there is like legitimately 5 people this year that could win. Like Punk, obviously, Cody, obviously, but I could see somebody like Drew winning, right? Like it wouldn't surprise me in the least. I could see somebody like AJ winning, right? If they had some sort of plan going for him. Randy, I could see winning. Like, I'll tell you who's not winning. Brock Lesnar is definitely not winning.
Definitely not winning.
So I don't know, man. I'm gonna say that it's going to be CM Punk's gonna win.
Okay.
I think CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. I would like to see Cody win, but CM Punk is my pick.
I am going to go with Gunther, and I want Gunther to win. And he made a believer out of me when him and Seth Rollins had that face-to-face promo.
Okay.
As far as him, taking it to the next level, and I foresee a situation in the Rumble where CM Punk and Cody get simultaneously eliminated and are at odds with each other, because I think that's the story that's being built to WrestleMania, is those two going at it.
Yeah. Neither one of them is going to get the fucking main event again.
I know.
CM Punk's he's not even gonna main event night 3 of a 4-night buy one get one free extravaganza.
Bro, it's going to be The Rock. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, he already said that.
I don't even care. I just think it's hilarious that CM Punk came in guns blazing thinking he was gonna get what he wanted, and they're just getting the same fucking shit.
It's pretty funny. Yeah. Fuck him.
Who do you think is going to be a surprise?
Do you have any mystery guys coming into this?
Man, I don't know.
I'm going to roll the dice, bro.
Go ahead. I want to hear.
I think the mystery entrant in this year's Rumble, at least one of them, is going to be a man who is always ready. Matt Cardona, baby.
Nah, I can't buy that. Nah, dude. Unless they were giving him a one-off, and he was just going right back to the Indies, the way
that's what I think might happen. That's what I think might happen.
If they let that happen, then sure, I buy it. But he's not signing a contract there. That dude's having the time of his life, man, and making more money than he would be in WWE.
True.
Sitting fucking catering. I can't see that happening. I would big pop if it happens. I'd love to hear that.
And Matt Cardona, not Radio Zack Ryder.
Oh yeah, no, definitely it has to be Matt Cardona. I mean, Andrade is an obvious one. I don't even think that's a surprise.
Yeah. Do you think this is his comeback?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's a lot of smoke. So there's probably fire. I
have another NXT call up that I think is going to happen in this match. Braun Breaker And I think he's going to go in there, and I think he's going to eliminate a handful of people.
Makes sense. Give him a
Yeah.
good run. I don't know, man. I just think that, like, I don't think that there's. I'm trying to think about like people that they've released right recently that could possibly be part of the show, and nothing is coming to mind. So, I guess I'm just gonna have to piggyback off of your Matt Cardona pick.
You know what else I think would be really cool if, like, at this point, don't you think that the Ruthless Aggression era guys have kind of reached nostalgia level at this point? Like, bringing guys in for the Rumble, like, wouldn't it be cool to see somebody who can still go like Chris Masters come in for a Royal Rumble spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's still in NWA, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract situation is like.
Yeah,
but,
me neither.
You know,
I think that there's a handful of guys you could bring back for sure. Do you think that the like worst case scenario is The Rock coming back and winning the Royal Rumble, right? Like,
yeah,
that's absolutely the worst case scenario.
100%.
I don't know. I got. There's too many people that could show up as a surprise, and I don't want to start thinking about who it can be because I know inevitably we're probably going to be disappointed at the level of surprise. So I don't know.
For sure.
I will say that there's a handful of people that definitely are not showing up in the Royal Rumble. MJF is definitely not showing up in the Royal Rumble. I know people are like, "Oh, his contract, he's not on AEW roster page." Shut up, you're all stupid. Mercedes Moné is not showing up in the Women's Rumble. It's just not happening. I can't fathom it happening. And those are my like absolutely will not happen, but could possibly be proven wrong predictions. So, but I'm excited. I love the Rumble, man. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year, and assuming that the company carries on in some shape, form, or fashion, it'll probably end up being one of the only things I end up watching because, until Vince is gone.
Oh, dude, I expect him to be fully like out of TKO within the next week. Like he can't just stay on that board. So, so he should be watching the programming next week, in theory. But of course, as always, guys, follow us on Instagram at Smarknado, on Twitter at Smarknado1. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Go check out our link tree. Upcoming event, we have Showabunga 2 by Wrestlers Lab. We're a proud sponsor of Wrestlers Lab. Go check out our interview with the Creeps recently on our YouTube page.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of exciting things on the horizon for 2024 with Smarknado.
Yes, new designs, new sponsorships, new everything. And so, with all of those things being said, we love you to all of the victims. Fuck Vincent Kennedy McMahon forever. And stay fresh, cheese bags.
And keep watching wrestling.